Well, hey, this is Tracy Delsa with Creation Adventures, and if you look behind me, you can see what it's doing today. We've getting a good bit of rain here in North Alabama, and I just thought it'd be fun to do a little project in the shop, have a little fun. And what we're going to do is, as we talk about knife making, they're different. Like I said, there are different levels of knife making, and whichever one you choose, that's up to you. But kind of building on the last series of videos I made, today we're gonna take this old utility knife, and you can see it looks pretty rough. It's rusty and it's beat up. And what we're gonna do, let's say you find one of these at a yard sale or a flea market or something, and you want to take this and maybe make something like this. Okay? And what I like to do is I like to make a new knife before the hunting season and carry that knife that year. And so we'll say that that's what I'm going to do with this. I want to make a new a knife like this, a hunting knife to carry when I go in the deer woods. Okay? Something like this. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take this handle off. I'm going to take my vice grips to hold it securely, and then I'm going to beat this. I'm going to beat that wooden handle off right here. I'm going to pull that little ferrule off, then hopefully now I can just slide that guard piece off. Comes off pretty easy. Now, what I need to decide now is what kind of blade shape that I would like to have. And I usually prefer a drop point. You can make a spear point, you can make a clip point, you can make different style blades, but I like, for my purposes, I prefer to go with the drop point. And so with this blade, this is your preference, okay? You'll have to figure out how long of a blade that you would like to have. I like to have about a 3.5 to 3 3/4 inch blade. That's what I like to have. And I will probably reduce the width just a little bit on this blade. Okay? That's my preference. Like I said, and I like a drop point. So I just kind of take my permanent marker I just freehand it kind of like I want it to go. So I've got it where it's going to be about, the tip's going to be right at 4 inches, 3 to 3/4, 4 inches right in there. By the time I grind on it and get the edge on it, it'll probably be closer to 3 3/4. So I'll cut that with my cutting wheel. I do recommend using a face shield and safety glasses. I've got my reading glasses on, so I'm pretty safe. And I also recommend using these big thick gloves when you're using a cutting wheel. Okay, got that squared away. Now, I'm recording this live. I'm not cutting it. So now I'll switch out this belt to this 36-inch or 36 grit. That lined up. I'm going to use my vice grips to hold it steady. I mean, I could hold it with my hand, but I do prefer the vice grips. And I'm going to wear my face shield when using this 36 grit belt. Voila. Looks pretty good. So that's really all I need to do right at this step. Okay, so far 3 steps. I took the handle off and all the other stuff, the guard and the ferrule. Okay, cut the blade kind of at the desired angle that I wanted it. Now I ground it, and I've got maybe 5 minutes in it so far. Okay, for the next step, fellas, all I'm gonna do, and I could have put this on the belt sander, but I want to show you, if you don't have the big belt sanders and stuff, you can still do this with hand stuff. So I'm gonna go ahead and get the rust off this blade, and I'm gonna use some 80 grit sandpaper and a file, and I found it really good if you will go ahead and get you some kind of board. This is a piece of red oak, and put it in your vise. A vise is going to be really important to have when you do any kind of knife making or something. And then a C-clamp, and clamp this blade down flat so you don't risk the chance of stabbing yourself or cutting yourself with the blade. Of course, the blade's dull, but you can still, you know, if you put enough pressure on something and you hit it, you can still puncture your skin or something. So you want to think about safety, and this is the best way to work this blade as far as sanding it if you're not going to use like a belt sander.